You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Qwerpline this week is brought to you by the Libertine Submarine Limousine. Why cruise in the Shaughnessy when you can barrel 8 feet underwater in a richly appointed man-only watertight town car? Book the Libertine Submarine Limousine. You won't need sunscreen.
Good morning and welcome to Qwerpline. It is G-Money here with the A-Train. How is it going today, Alex?
Feeling taut and fresh.
How taut do you feel?
GED equivalent.
So not sort of like you need a massage.
Was that on offer?
Not for me. Welcome, everybody, to Qwerpline, broadcasting live from QWRP in wonderful Innsbruck, where the sky meets.
That's not true. I've never eaten a sky meat.
No. 2 E's.
Oh, I've been on 2 E's before. It's great for about 6 hours, but after that, whew.
As we all know, the big news this week, spurred by the untimely passing of much-beloved Aldersman Richard Thurpston, the emergency by-election for the position of Aldersman has been taking Innsbruck by storm. There are 67 candidates for the position. After years of Mr. Thurpston running unopposed, it seems now that he is no longer with us, everybody wants to see if they've got what it takes.
And some of those people do not.
And so, owing to a policy that was put in place before we realized 67 candidates might be running, we are obliged to give each of them equal and fair airtime to promote their campaign, as Qwerpline now enters its 9th consecutive day of election coverage.
I'm learning new things about how much mileage I can get out of my underpants.
You know you can go home when we're not broadcasting.
No shit.
That would be the ideal scenario, yes. Later in the program, of course, we'll be checking in live at the town hall for the all-candidates mass debate, moderated by our own surprisingly patient Edith Slump, operating in her capacity as Harvest Princess and one of the few people not running.
I'll tell you, if Harvest Queen Agatha doesn't have kids soon, Edith is next up to the plate.
As is tradition in Harvest Festival monarchies.
It'll be a real pain in the ass to have to reprint our money, though.
But before we go to that, it's time to check in with Richter Hammock Slam up in the QWRP traffic quopter to tell you how things are looking on the streets of Innsbruck today. How's it going up there, Richter?
Thank you, Graham, and I'd like to remind you and the people of Innsbruck that a vote for Richter Hammock Slam is a vote for a clearer drive to tomorrow, and also a vote for Richter.
Richter, we've been over this.
Just like I have been over this city, from corner to corner, from Crescent to Berkshire Drive, handing out my platform on these pamphlets, delivered from the air.
Is that why our copier's empty?
Empty, Alex, like the promises of every other candidate running in Innsbruck.
Richter, we discussed this. You had your time earlier this week. You can't use every traffic update to campaign.
Fine, Graham. Let me tell you about traffic. Let me tell you about the ring. The ring that I threw my hat in. The ring is the ring road which surrounds this great city. And I will complete that ring road as soon as I get elected.
Richter, you honestly think you are going to be able to complete the other 335 degrees of Innsbruck Ring Road?
It's all about vision, Graham. And from 4,600 feet, no other candidate has better vision than I.
Richter, traffic.
Fine, Alex. Let's then talk about the traffic on Berkshire Drive. The drive full of fine townspeople and profitable local businesses. Beautiful prosperity from the north to the south, from the Shaughnessy all the way to where the Shaughnessy 2 was just mere weeks ago. A city teeming with people who do not want their fair burg destroyed by an incompetent, illiterate candidate. And also a 5-car pileup on Highway 3, so you might want to consider taking an alternate route to the debate. Back to you, Graham.
We got actual traffic at the end there.
See what a little yelling will get you?
I think that's his whole platform.
Pretty sure Richter's platform has a big H painted on it.
That is the QWRP helipad.
But he's been campaigning off it for a week.
It's okay, we're not liable. And let's go now live to hour 7 of today's All Candidates Mass Debate, broadcasting from the town hall and moderated by Edith Slump.
So I can find new things in a bucket.
Thank you, Mr. Hinckley.
Call me bald, princess.
No. The next question is for Mr. Corb Fortress Esquire.
Greetings, Your Highness.
As residents of Innsbruck and Lesser Miami are no doubt aware, raccoons are a constant pest at our municipal pools. Do you have any policy suggestions in place to try and reduce the amount of raccoon fur and rabies that our children might come in contact with next summer?
That is a question vital to the health and safety of our citizens in this county, Edith. I believe that a strict procedure of licensing and cleanup of the raccoons would help keep them off the streets. Furthermore, I would increase funding to the recycling depot to process better the raccoons and refine the rabies down into a exportable resource. Raccoons, of course, being one of the 4 R's.
3 R's! We don't take raccoons!
I ask that the gallery remain silent. Our next question is a down-the-line question for candidates 51 through 59. Many citizens have been campaigning for a memorial to the late Richard Thurpston. Can you speak to your plans for materials and construction? You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes each?
Total. I have been doing this for 9 days and my patience is razor thin. Mr. Hinckley, you may begin.
I got a big mound of sawdust out back. I'm gonna press it, and I'm gonna mold it, and then I'm gonna impregnate it with my perfumes. That memorial's gonna smell like the sweetest coochie you ever put your nose in.
Thank you.
I wasn't done!
I am. Next candidate, Miss Schlitzwhistle.
Oh my goodness, I have so much experience with craftsmanship and making things, and I think it's really important that if we're going to make any kind of monument to a false god, we must also praise the real god, Mother Gaia. And also it should block Wi-Fi transmissions because they're just not good for you. So I see a beautiful sun with a dream catcher on top to catch all of the Wi-Fis and the free radicals that are just flying through the air, and at her feet, 3 happy bees. For budget, I'm thinking about $350,000 so we can get ethical and organically sourced materials. Beeswax, herbs, spices. Wait, hold on, let me do that without laughing. Spices, crystals, and spiders.
That's nice. Next up is Corb Fortress Esquire.
A man of law is best remembered by the law that he produces, and therefore I would like to introduce a new form of legislation to honor the late Mr. Thurpston by putting into place a new tax code which would include the consumption of statues and statuettes, thereby stimulating our economy through the production thereof.
That doesn't make any sense, Mr. Fortress. Would you care to elaborate?
I would be happy to answer any further and follow-up questions after my election.
Well, hope springs eternal. Next we go to candidate number 54, Mr. Justice Zeph.
One love, Edith.
Just like, please no.
That's Princess Slump to you.
Irie, here's what I don't understand. Everyone's here in this building and we're all thinking about this wonderful person, Mr. Thurpston, and how we can do our best to honor him for all the great things that he's supposedly done for us. And that's great. Like, I love that. That's love. That's what love is about. That's the best part of all of this, is how much we can love each other and everything that we're doing with our lives. But have you ever stopped and considered, what does he want? What does Mr. Thurpston want us to do? We want to do this for him, but maybe he doesn't want certain things. Maybe we should ask him.
Mr. Thurpston is dead. That's why we are having this election.
Bummer. Oh, that's rough, man. Why didn't anyone tell me? We should make a memorial to him. I bet if everyone up here and all the people in the audience work together, we could build something for him.
That is exactly what we are, in fact, discussing at this very moment.
I'm just so happy to be in a room with this much love.
Your 2 minutes are up.
That's been 2 minutes?
It seems like an eternity. Next up is Happy Gunterson.
Gunderson, and I'll tell you, I am very happy to be here today. I can tell you one thing about the memorial for Mr. Thurpston, noted pipesman sympathizer, and that it's not going to go in my backyard.
Nobody here is suggesting that.
I cede the remainder of my time.
Yay. Next in line is local coach Dr. Melissa McFeels.
Eat a dick sandwich, McFeels.
Security, could we have Mr. Buntsman removed from the gallery again?
People need to know the truth. The truth about what a heel McFeels is. Get your hands off me.
Thanks, Edith. I think that for this memorial, that we should do exactly what we do for the talcum puffs and the literal tigers, and we should just knuckle down and give it our all and really try our hardest. And whatever happens, happens, but we'll know we did our best.
Do you have any concrete plans?
Concrete? That's a fantastic idea. Good job, Edith. You're really giving it 110%. Such a team player.
That's the first time anyone's ever told me that. I'm overcome with emotion. Next up, we have Dick Thurston III.
I cannot believe I am being subjected to this travesty. My dead grandfather founded this county. This is my birthright. And 66 other nitwits are running against me.
Mr. Thurston, I would care to remind you that unlike the title of Harvest Queen, this is not a monarchy.
By God, when I was a boy it was, and it should have stayed that way.
Sir, you are 22 years old.
And I'll have you married off to the villainous Prince of Greensboro if you keep up that attitude.
That's not a very good threat. Also, that's not how that works. Also, Steve is a nice guy. We've had coffee.
In more civilized counties, I could have you all killed, and don't think I wouldn't.
Well, that's exciting. And next up we have Derek. Did you get lost?
Hi, Edith.
Derek, I think you are too young to run for this position.
I'm 19.
I guess that is the absolute minimum legal age. Carry on.
So, I was the last one to sit with Richard Thurston before he untimely demised, and I think I know a little bit about what that man would want. For example, I know he loved muffins, but more importantly, his ghost is inside me now, and I think he wants a statue built in every town in the county.
His ghost is inside you?
Well, I assume so. I mean, I was looking right in his eyes when he passed over. That's how it works, right? Like in Highlander, the animated series?
Did you experience lightning?
Or hear the music of Queen?
My grandfather's soul is in hell, not inside some upstart boy.
Point of information, Princess Slump. I believe in this debate I've already established that I am 19 years old.
Mr. Derek is correct. The other candidates are out of order.
You're out of order.
Curse the
I tell you what everybody needs is some of my perfume. You can't be mad when you're smelling a nice coochie.
to the
You know what causes all of this chaos? It's the weed fiend. I knew we should have had them installed at Town Hall. And I
Chill
tried
out,
to
everyone. This is not Irie.
catch all of the bad vibes, and now I'm rolling everybody with passion. And it's really getting to just the horror.
Those candidates are trained for fighting. Please be quiet. This is not behavior becoming a
You're
candidate.
making it up just to make me unhappy. Make my grandfather's memory unhappy.
Everybody chill out.
All right, we're going to bring it back to the studio now, and maybe we'll check in later if things get back under control.
Well, this is only the second day of debates that's ended in fisticuffs. I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, though I still question doing these debates as a round robin.
Well, we've got 67 candidates. It was this or deathmatch.
I mean, it sounds tempting.
You know what I would do if I was Aldersm'n?
I don't. What would you do?
Absolutely nothing. I would leave everything as it is. All these people are talking about change, and I think the people really just want it left the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Richard Thurston steered this county on a straight course for nearly half a century, and people want to change that? Why? Who needs these chuckle fucks?
They're not all that word.
Derek is running.
Derek's only running because he thinks he has a ghost living in him.
Speaking of, when are we going to break the news to him?
Why should we? We're not his mom.
Well, if he is a Highlander, then neither is she.
Well, either way, we'll have to check back in with the debate later because it is almost time for a break. When we come back, we've just learned that Officer Steve and the Innsbruck PD have once again deputized the Girl Scouts to help contain the melee at the mass debate.
Lock and load, girls.
And it's November, so the Innsbruck Tourism Board is getting ready with the annual chestnut count.
Did you get in on the pool this year?
No, it's full of raccoons again.
Why should that stop you?
What?
Just give her.
Sure. More Qwerpline back after this.
You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Thanks again to our sponsor, the Libertine Submarine Limousine. Why cruise on the Shaughnessy when you can barrel 8 feet underwater in a watertight town car filled with luscious men? Book the Libertine Submarine Limousine. Get keen on the peen scene.